Today's episode is presented by Mimics in theaters this February, Friday the 13th. Down on his luck, impressionist Sam Reinhold makes a pact with Fergus, a wicked, strings-attached puppet that holds the promise to propel Sam to stardom, unleashing a nightmare that threatens the safety of those he loves. From the mind of Christopher Palaha comes his directorial debut, Mimics, a bold blend of horror, fun, and romance. Starring Chris Palaha, Mariah, Stephen Tobolowsky, Chris Parnell, Jess Hutch, Jason Marsden, Austin Basis, and more. Opening in theaters February, Friday the 13th. Return to Silent Hill is in theaters now. Based on the iconic Silent Hill 2, step into the fog and experience the nightmare.
You did it, didn't you, Jimmy? You woke him up.
Face your fears as you return to Silent Hill. In theaters nationwide. Find theaters and showtimes at tickets.returntosilenthill.com.
I hate to say it, but his parents have been feeling unwell as of late, and I'm staying with them to help take care of Alex.
Oh, so it's serious.
Oh, no, it's not serious, nothing terminal. It's just a touch of consumption.
And welcome back to Horror Queers. We're talking Cine, Omni, Multi, Whatchamaplex things. We're talking No Tongue! And we're talking Maggie? God, are you obsessed with this bitch or what? And I'm Joe.
And I'm Trace, and we're talking, you might say I'm multi-identical. Now, with a little nip here and a little tuck there, I become multisexual.
Oh my god, look at you with the queer reading right off the top.
I got the... Honestly, what I really wanted to do, though, for my thing was scary movies on the silver screen.
Except we need, like, the better musical backing behind that, because that song only worked if you got that reggae funk going on.
I'm not gonna lie, like, the first time I saw Popcorn, everybody, because that is what we are covering today.
Yes.
I think I was really drunk, because a friend brought it for a movie night, and it was one of the last things we watched.
Oh, fun. Okay.
I remember really liking it, but I also realized rewatching this, I was like, I don't think I was like really...
You were not paying attention fully?
Not for most of it, but for some reason, I just remember how all of us in the room just like lost it at the scary movies on the silver screen.
It's because it doesn't make a lot of sense, but you have already cued me that it will once we hear your production history. But I think to the casual viewer, if you were just watching this, you would say, what is this musical choice?
Yes. We did film this movie in Jamaica, everybody.
There we go.
Which I will get to. But I actually do have a pretty good production history for this, which I'm pulling everything from the 1 hour long making of documentary on Synapse Films 2017 Blu-ray of Popcorn. But Joe, this was a first time watch for you, right?
This was a first-time watch for me, yes, and I was very much looking forward to this because I had heard such good things about it, but everybody always just says, oh, one of the reasons that it's so cool is that it's got this subtle meta layer to it. You know, it takes place in a movie theater, and you think, okay, well, this is sounding familiar to a bunch of more popular titles, shall we say. Mm-hmm. So I was excited to see what a maybe pre-Scream meta slasher looked like, and I don't think it's quite that. It has a sense of playfulness and fun to it, but I don't actually think that this is meta commentary or self-referential or anything like that.
I mean, it's meta in the sense that, yeah, we're doing movies within a movie, and we have a cast of film students who really like horror but seem to have never seen one before. And...
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not even going to say that they know horror. I think one of them, Bud, our disabled guy who's in the tech booth, I think he knows horror, and the rest of them just seem to be like, hey, I like movies. I would like to make a movie.
A little bit, but so it's meta in that sense, but It's not engaging with the material. Because we're really doing... it's a lot of 50s and 60s like sci-fi horror films, and we're really honing in on William Castle's gimmicks without ever actually saying William Castle's name.
Which shocked me, because I kept waiting for them to say, this is what we're pulling from. If you know, you know, wink, wink. And then there was no wink, wink.
Yeah, and I think that's where the meta stuff is like, oh, well, like, it's doing it, but it's not really going all the way there in the same way that Scream would just 5 years after this, which it's bizarre that they're only 5 years apart. But
I mean, you messaged me and said, oh my God, this is the most 80s film that just happens to be coming out in 1991.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, while what you just described prevents this film from being great for me, I do still think it's a lot of fun, if a little bit nonsensical.
Oh, you can't think too much about the logistics because a bunch of the movie falls apart. But I will say, as a first-time watch, this wasn't exactly what I expected, but I will agree with you. I had a lot of fun with this. Like, I could see this being a kind of comfort horror watch just because it goes down so easy. I actually liked nearly all of the characters, and I think that there's some pretty decent special effects with these masks. I was impressed.
I fully agree with that. And I agree. I actually do like a lot of the kids in this. I wish we had, like, I mean, this is
I wish we had more. I wish we had more time with them.
Yeah, like, this is a flat 90-minute movie. And again, one of the few times where I'll say, honestly, I would have taken like 5 or 10 more minutes in the first act to hang out with some of these kids. I mean, maybe even act 2, because the other issue from if we want to call this a slasher movie, which
question mark supernatural, I don't know.
The thing is, a lot of these people don't realize like they're in a horror movie until they're about to die.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, there's not a lot of engaging with the material in that way. But I'm glad to hear you like this though, because this is a solid like 3.5 film for me, where I'm like, yeah, it's good, it's fun, it's a good crowd, probably a good party movie.
Yeah.
I just wish it were a little bit smarter.
I will co-sign that. Yeah, for me, it was just a bit more of the characters. I also think that the film is a little too reliant on this gimmick of we're watching movies on the big screen, and then the film around those movies seems to be referencing it. I liked it, but then it started to feel like, no, I get the gist of it, but you're not doing anything too new with it, so give me more time with the actual characters as opposed to staging set pieces and killing them. Because there was a point where I thought, I like a lot of these people, but I don't know enough about them, but I sure do understand what this Attack of the Electrified Man movie is.
Absolutely that. And I definitely know how the control board works. I'm not sure I really need to know how the control board works.
I was like, I get it. The lights are going to kill someone. That's all I needed to know.
Okay, let's just jump into this then, because
let's do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I opened this and I was like, surely
a 1 hour doc. That is impressive.
Yes. And they got most people back. I mean, we got the director on this thing. We did not get the writer, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But okay, so basically, Popcorn, of all things, has its ties all the way to Bob Clark, director of Black Christmas. Everyone, see previous episode. But
yeah.
So okay. Bob Clark's regular screenwriting collaborator is a man named Alan Ormsby, and he co-wrote Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things and Death Dream, both Bob Clark, like, early horror films before he did Black Christmas.
Right, yes.
But I guess financiers wanted Clark to direct it, and at this point in his career, so this is probably like 1990 when they're actually getting all this together,
right?
Clark didn't want to direct horror films anymore, so he actually suggested that Ormsby direct the film instead, with Clark staying on as producer. So he still really wanted to be involved with the movie, Joe. He just didn't want to direct it.
Yeah, he liked the concept, but he said, I don't want to be the horror guy. I mean, he had probably seen this happen to people like Wes Craven, John Carpenter, and so on. You know, oh, I like horror, but I don't necessarily want to get trapped there.
Yeah, and I was trying to think, like, what was Clark's last big hit? But it would have been early 80s with either Porky's or A Christmas Story. I don't think he had too many hits after that.
Yeah, I mean, those are definitely the ones people are going to know and recognize.
Yeah, so, okay, the crew gets everything together. They all go to Jamaica because, yes, this movie was filmed in Kingston, Jamaica, of all places.
The way my eyes bugged out when you told me that, because you said, okay, by the way, this is secretly a Bob Clark movie. And I said, oh, so it's a Canadian film. And you said, no, it was shot in Jamaica.
Well, and remember, because Bob Clark isn't even Canadian. He was an expatriate in Canada because he just liked it so much.
I've adopted him. He's mine. You can't have him.
Now, I will say, so the reason we're filming in Jamaica is because they were trying to turn the country into a filmmaker's destination. So,
sure, okay.
Makes sense. I will say this, though, and this is... Funny in the sense that they didn't expect this to happen, but also kind of racist. But basically...
Oh, no. Jesus.
The extras who were cast were all black. So they put out a casting call for all these extras for the theater, and they were all black. And they were like, wait, we can't have an entirely black theater. So then they had to do a special casting call for white specific actors while using masks to cover up some of the black actors' faces. So it wouldn't just be a sea of black. I know. I was like, y'all, don't shoot in Jamaica if that's going to be a problem. Also, why is it a problem if they're all black?
Why is it a fucking problem? Just be like, hey, this theater happens to be in a predominantly black part of town, so that's where we're doing it. Or make more of your main cast black. Like, I don't see a problem, except for racism.
Yeah, but that's 100% what it is. So again, the humor I find in this is that they didn't think that they thought putting a casting call for extras in Jamaica, the capital of Jamaica, would turn out a bunch of white faces.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway, about a week into filming, Ormsby's directorial position was questioned. There is a lot of speculation about why he was eventually fired from the project.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, so most of the cast were saying he was too detail-oriented, and I guess he had prioritized the films within the films first, so he actually did direct all of the stuff in those things.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because I was about to ask you if these were real movies or if they made these movies for the purpose of Popcorn, the film we are watching.
Oh, yeah, no, they were definitely made for this, and I guess, though, that's why, though, I think those films within the films, like when we see those movies, you said you know exactly what's happening in Mosquito. It's because this original director, Ormsby, he spent so much time on them.
Too much time. Exactly,
too much time. And so he shot those first and spent a lot of time getting them just right, which is, again, maybe why they're one of the better parts of the movie.
Right. But also, it makes me wonder if that's the reason why we use so much of it is because we either didn't have quite enough coverage of some of the actual kids in the theater getting killed and so on, or it was, we spent so much time and effort on these, I guess we need to use as much of it as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so the production was getting overscheduled, over-detailed, too much time, and producers thought that if the production kept going the way it was, then they'd be going way over budget. Like, fuck the time it's going to take. They're going to be spending too much money. So...
Oh, yeah, time is money on a film set. That's why it's always go, go, go.
Well, especially when you're filming on location in another country. So they reach out to actor Mark Herrier, who Bob Clark knew from his film Porky's. Herrier plays Billy in all 3 Porky's films.
Okay, God, it's been so long. I don't recognize.
I've only seen the first Porky's, and it's only because I remember my dad, just loved, and I'm sure we talked about this in Black Christmas. But
you have definitely mentioned this before. Your dad was a bit of a perv, and he liked Porky's.
But I went to go look, because the Wikipedia page for Porky's is these movies, the first Porky's was actually very well received upon its initial release.
It's funny. It hasn't aged particularly well because it's basically about boys being pervs, but it was, of the time, very funny.
But it does point out how, yes, in the ensuing years, even just a decade later, it came under harsh criticism from people for its misogyny.
yeah, because the women are just sex objects.
Oh, yeah, and again, the boys are peeping toms. The shower scene was funny in 1982 or whatever, but it would not fly today.
No.
So, anyway, Herrier had a 3-week-old son and got on a phone call to come and direct Popcorn, despite having only directed a few shorts. So this is his feature directorial debut.
Okay. I think most of the direction is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's solid. He got to the set, and basically, before he even knew what film he was making, before he knew he was caught up on anything, he had to direct a scene, as soon as he arrived. And this was the scene...
Where do I put my bag? Oh, you want me to just pick up the camera?
That's exactly what happened, basically. So it was the moment in which Tony Roberts, who plays Mr. Davis, was up in the catwalks, and by this point he's already the killer Toby in costume. Spoiler alert, but
wow,
it's when he's waving Tina the usher up to the rafters to kiss her.
That's such a fun scene.
I know, I agree, but basically he was just shooting this guy waving his hand up, and then after that he called cut, then went off to watch the dailies to see what movie he was making, because again he had no idea.
Is this one of the movies within the movie, or is this the film proper? I don't know. I'm jet lagged.
Now, one of the first things that was reshot was the classroom scene at the beginning where they decided to have a horror fest. And apparently the original footage, according to Herrier, was dreadful and lazy.
Wow, so it's a Scream 2 situation.
Okay, dude, I said the same thing. I was like, not only does this scene mirror the Scream 2 film class scene, it also had to be reshot.
Amazing. You know what? time is a flat circle and everything is a cycle.
It's wonderful. But yeah, that scene feels like, I mean, I don't know if Kevin Williamson had seen this. I feel like he would have seen this, but like...
Quite possibly.
Yeah, but I mean, no one's talking about Scream 2 going, oh yeah, that popcorn reference.
I mean, here's the thing. We know Kevin Williamson is going to be doing the press rounds. Fellow critics and journalists, if you were talking to Kevin Williamson, just give him a little nugget. Ask him if he's seen popcorn for us.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Now, but when he reshot this, the cast, he said, was delivering the same performance, and he got kind of pissy. And so he told them, y'all may have some impression of how you're doing that's different from the reality, but let me tell you, I've seen this, and this really sucks. So you can be here in Jamaica on vacation, or we can use this opportunity to make a movie and do it well. And
wow,
that got kicked everyone in the ass, and they did it better.
Okay. I mean... demotivational speeches are a thing for sure. I guess it all depends on how you deliver it. Like, hey, everybody, do you want to make a fucking movie or do you want to jerk off a little?
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a thing where it's like, look, y'all have already been working with this other director for a week, maybe 2 weeks by this point, and
yeah,
I've got to come in and be like, no, look, I'm the boss now. So
100%. You gotta, I mean, you gotta light a fire because you're already under the gun.
Mm-hmm. But even with all this, there is some disagreement over who really directed Popcorn. And I know I always bring up it's the Tobe Hooper, Steven Spielberg poltergeist thing, but
right.
I have to say, in this featurette, Herrier does say, now I know how Tobe Hooper felt after all the poltergeist stuff.
Oh.
Because according to, well, I wrote some actors in my notes, but really every actor on this featurette says the same thing. So Malcolm Danare, who plays Bud, said that Bob Clark directed Popcorn.
Okay.
Yvette Solar, who plays Joni, says, and I quote, Bob was in charge of that set, and Mark's talents were visible and there and important, but it was a collaboration. Jill Sholin, who plays Maggie/Sarah, says, I want to give the politically correct answer here, but in truth, Bob had his hands in it. So
wow.
But then this is what Herrier says, and they're not all in the same room, so they're all being interviewed individually, so that no one had a chance to really have this conversation. It's just the answers we're getting.
Oh my god, it's like a police investigation. We just put everybody into separate rooms and said, who really directed this movie? And then shone a bright light in their face.
Exactly. And so Herrier says this: Bob didn't want to direct it, but Bob is Bob. But I soon understood what Tobe Hooper must have felt with Poltergeist. A lot of that was going on, especially early on, but he eventually backed off and also wasn't present for the editing process. There were times when, because we were behind, Bob took a camera and would go shoot something, but I directed the movie. So,
okay. Yeah, this sounds like he was a novice director. He was green, as I said, maybe jet lag, just coming onto the project quite late. And Bob probably already knew exactly how to do all this stuff. So it kind of sounds like Bob was helping him a lot in the beginning. And then as he maybe got a little bit more sure-footed, Bob started to step back or pitch in second unit.
Yes. Well, but see, I think the thing is that it wasn't just second unit stuff. I think there were scenes where he was directing the principal actors. And so that's probably why a lot of the actors are saying, well, no, Bob directed me in some of these scenes.
Right.
But I think for Herrier, it's like, well, no, but he wasn't involved in post-production. I edited this, I had final cut or whatever. So
and we do know how much editing and putting the film together, post-production pieces can really bring a film together.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think I'm going to go with it was a collaboration, but
there
ultimately
you go.
This is
politically correct.
Yeah, but this is Herrier's film because Bob Clark wasn't there calling the shots about what takes to use and how to piece it together and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
But here's the thing, Joe. This wasn't the only issue with the production of this film.
Okay, we're still going.
There were also issues with the actress who was originally cast as Maggie/Sarah because Jill Sholin was not the first actress cast and did not begin filming. This other actress did.
Oh, okay.
The other actress, by the way, this won't mean anything to you, but this is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids' Amy O'Neill, who plays the older sister Amy in that movie.
Okay, it's been a very long time.
As a kid, I loved her. I had a huge crush on this character. So she never really did much after that movie. And she got cast in Popcorn. She was filming for a week, again, maybe 2 weeks. And basically, they were like, this isn't working. And so they had to call her and say, look, we're going to let you go. We're going to have to recast you, blah, blah, blah. And she's not on this featurette at all.
Yeah, that would be tough. I mean, you might also say, well, I don't really have a ton of memories because I was only there for a short time, but also then I got fired. Like, you don't really see a lot of interviews with Eric Stoltz from Back to the Future or something like that, right?
Right, yeah. Although, I feel like it's always everyone else talking about it, not Eric Stoltz.
Right? Yeah. Maybe it's just, you know what, that was traumatic and I'd rather not bring it back up.
Yeah, well, so either way, so they let her go, and Sholin gets a call at 4 p.m. on whatever day of the week it is, and they said, hey, do you want to do this? She goes, yeah. So she had to like literally fly to Jamaica the next morning and start filming. So she says, I got maybe 2 hours of sleep on the plane. I got there, got in makeup, and shot the first scene, which is oddly enough, the first scene she shot was the opening scene where she's having that nightmare in her bed, and she
what? The puffy eyes and everything, it's just because I've been having a nightmare, folks. Not because I just got on a plane to fucking Jamaica.
Well, so there was a moment where she actually fell asleep on the bed when they were shooting. Are you familiar with Jill Sholin, by the way?
No, but I liked her a lot in this movie.
So she is actually a known scream queen from the 80s, but like smaller horror films. Like this isn't a Jamie Lee Curtis like Halloween type thing.
Okay.
She's best known for films like 1985's Chiller. She is the girlfriend in 1987's The Stepfather.
Oh, okay.
She's in Cutting Class, the Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera.
No.
And she is the co-lead of When a Stranger Calls Back with Carol Kane.
Oh, see, and I've only seen the opening.
Oh, well, she's actually the she's the opening. She's the one that gets the phone call.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
But so, I mean, she is a scream queen, but in like B tier horror movies compared to like what we would otherwise call a scream queen.
Okay, interesting. I mean, yeah, those are notable titles. I haven't seen many of them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen The Stepfather, Joe. So I mean,
it's good. It's really good. I just don't remember a ton of it. That's the only one for sure that I've seen all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, I have seen Chiller because Chiller's a Wes Craven movie. It's a TV movie. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So yeah, they get there, and this was the last like real problem. Although they did find this theater again in Kingston, Jamaica, and it was perfect for them. I mean, it looks great.
It's a great theater,
but this theater, when they got there, was apparently a cesspool. So Dee Wallace is all over this featurette as well. And she said it was an abandoned theater, and you walked in, and it was quite obvious that unhoused people used it to sleep, eat, and piss. It reeked everywhere.
Okay, so it was a little run down.
Yeah. I guess they fixed it up because, again, you couldn't tell that just looking at the movie.
No, I mean, the whole concept, or at least the premise in the film, is that it is an older theater and it's about to be demolished. Like they say, in 3 weeks, this thing is coming down. And I think it's got that marquee look to it, but it also does look like it's fallen on some hard times. So I imagine they probably didn't have to do a ton to give it a facelift because it's not meant to be a brand new theater.
I know. I'm just thinking of all those extras. Like if there's like piss everywhere and like shit all over the floor, like hopefully you clean that up before you have a 1,000 extras in the seats of this theater.
No, I'm sure you just give it like a nice good power wash and then you're good to go.
Just spray some Lysol over everything. It gets
open all the doors, Lysol, you're good.
Just some technical stuff that I want to point out. So Popcorn cinematographer is Ronnie Taylor, who is an Oscar-winning cinematographer for his work on Gandhi.
Oh.
The score was composed by Paul Zaza, who, if there was like a Scream King for composers, he'd be one of them.
That name is familiar.
He did the scores for all 4 prom night films, My Bloody Valentine, Curtains, and Porky's.
Okay. So we've got a Bob Clark connection.
We've got a Bob Clark connection for sure. But yeah, also a Canadian one in My Bloody Valentine and Curtains.
Indeed. Yeah.
Also, Toby's makeup. So this took 5 to 6 hours per day. Yes. The contact lenses he had to wear were very painful, and he had to wear them for hours at a time, which I will say when it comes to horror films, like I always talk about how I want to like die in a horror film, but I would hate to be covered in blood because I hate the sticky sensation. Mm-hmm. I don't know if a sticky blood stuff or if these hard colored contacts would be more uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the technology has definitely gotten better, so if you were to make a horror film now, it wouldn't be quite so bad, though I imagine they're still worse than just a traditional contact lens, but, the way that people have described contacts from 80s films and around this time period, it just... It sounds horrendous.
Absolutely awful. I mean, of course, I guess now we just get CGI, but whatever. Anyway. Now, the actor that plays Toby, Tom Villard, he was an out gay man at the time. Now, the thing is, and this is going to get a little bit of a downer, so he, during production, like called Mark Herrier aside and told him, like, I have to tell you something, it's really difficult, but I do have AIDS. HIV turned into AIDS, so he was already in that phase of it. But
so he was later stages.
Yeah, I believe so. He died from AIDS-related complications, pneumonia, in 1994. So just a few years after this. So I knew, because Herrier talks about this, where he says, you know, like, if you had AIDS in Hollywood, like you would not get hired, like they would not hire you. And I was thinking, I thought the reason why was because, people like didn't really have all the right information about HIV and AIDS and how it contracted. Right. So no, the issue was if you had AIDS, it was basically a death sentence because, you know, there was no cure for, I mean, there still is no cure for it, but there was not a really good way to ensure that you were going to live past a certain point.
Yeah, like we didn't have the cocktail and that kind of stuff, or it was in its infancy. Like I'm trying to remember
AZT.
When, it would have been coming out, or they would have had maybe a rudimentary version of it around here. But yeah, it wouldn't have guaranteed you a certain lifespan or even a quality of life.
And so because of that, you were uninsurable.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not know that. So, but it's really actually very nice. Like they do a segment about him in the featurette, and like everyone just has wonderful things to say about this guy. And I mean, I think he's having a real fun time under all that makeup and his performance.
His villain monologuing is great. He's a very captivating performer.
I think the only thing I wish, I'm glad I had subtitles because sometimes I couldn't always understand what he was saying through his lip makeup. But yeah, I do think he's actually a really good villain.
Yeah, he goes big, which I appreciated. And the film actually gives him time to grandstand. You know, we always joke about how we like it when a villain gets to do their big monologue. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes it's a little bit ridiculous, but sometimes you end up with a Rebecca Gayheart in Urban Legends kind of moment, or, you know, a Laurie Metcalf in Scream 2 moment. And I do think that this is kind of up there. Like when he gets the chance, you might as well give him a hat and a cane because he's really putting on a fucking show for Sarah.
It's because he reveals himself to Sarah
so early.
It's an hour. It's a beginning of Act 3, so he has the entire third act to do his villain stuff, and
which I like.
I think that's a strength of the film. Yeah,
me too.
Sure.
Yeah. I like that it's not 5 minutes before the movie ends. We're unmasking this person, and we just go, "Ooh, face makeup." It's like, no, give him his time. He needs to shine.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, now for the film's botched release. So, Popcorn was produced by Movie Partners and Transatlantic Pictures, but the plan was to outsource the marketing campaign. I guess it's common for some people to like have the production company also handle the marketing, like they have a marketing department within them. But I don't really know. But either way,
this is all sounding very foreign.
Yeah. So Studio 3 Film Corporation was launched with a business model that it wasn't going to produce. They were only going to do the promotion and marketing for a film. Okay. So a producer had to already have confidence in their film if they were going to bring it to them, or at least be like, we're willing to spend this much money on our film. But they were different, like almost a separation of church and state type thing. Okay. But Studio 3's first acquisition was Popcorn, and when they saw the film, they thought it was going to be PG-13. And that was the idea of everyone involved was, we're making a PG-13 movie. And I did rewatch the film after I watched this featurette because I was like, well, I feel like it feels R-rated to me.
It is. Yeah, like I feel like you could make the argument either way because it's not particularly bloody, but there are a bunch of people who die, and I think there's some language in here.
There is, but I honestly don't know if we say fuck more than once or twice.
Yeah.
Basically, though, when they had this, they developed their entire marketing campaign for a PG-13 film, gearing it towards 14 to
younger
18-year-old teenagers. Yeah. Exactly. Well, the MPAA comes back with an R rating, and the problem is this. They couldn't get around it because they were only the marketing team, and by this point, everyone in production was done. This is a wrap film.
Oh, shit. Okay, so they were the last thing, and the movie is going out to theaters, except we're trying to get people who can't come and see the film.
And no one could go back and do edits in the film because the production team was done. So they had to use the film they worked with. And even still, the ratings board didn't give them specific notes, only saying that the film was quote-unquote too intense for a PG-13 rating.
It's all about electricity.
Yeah, well, and I'm just like, too intense. Like, the movie's I wouldn't call it a horror comedy, but like, it's, as you said, it's playful, right?
Yeah, it is playful. There were times where I definitely thought, this is giving horror comedy, because, even the audience reactions, the color commentary that they're saying in some of the scary, quote-unquote, parts of the movies that they're watching, I was just like, we're taking the piss, right?
Yeah. I've never seen, because there's another early 90s film with John Goodman called Matinee. I think it's a Joe Dante film that does something similar to this, where it's like, we're doing like 50s like movies in a movie theater, and it's kind of like, I don't know if that is like plotted similarly to this. I don't think it's a slasher film, but I think it is a horror comedy, but like a family appropriate one.
Yeah, I think I listened to a Kill by Kill episode on it, and it sounded on par with this, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think that one's PG, so... Anyway.
So basically what you're saying is the movie completely flopped because we couldn't make money.
Well, so they basically had to change their entire marketing plan last minute to make it for 18 and up. So like I watched the trailer, and the trailer, it's not super great. Like it does this thing. It's like the voiceover of the text. Before the horror of Halloween. Before the fear of Friday the 13th. Before the evil of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Before them all, there was... Possessor. And it's like, oh, well, that's also confusing because am I watching Possessor or am I watching Popcorn?
Yeah, that's not great. That's not the smartest way to do it.
Yeah. There was also an issue with the poster. So, like, I don't know if you've seen the poster, but it's like a skeleton holding a Sarah mask, right?
It does not feel representative of this movie. Like, you just said it's a Sarah mask, and I didn't know that.
Well, so apparently, and I think in the versions we have now, you can see a tear falling down the Sarah mask's face.
Yes.
Back in the day, that was the original plan, but the MPA told them, well, if you put a tear on that face, it implies that the person is in pain, and so you can't put that in a movie theater.
Oh my, would you fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is 1991. Like, the MPA is cracking down. They've already been cracking down on horror
I was going to
films.
say, they've spent the last decade being super pissed off at horror films. So,
and I'm actually wondering now, because we always talk about, that dead period for horror at the beginning of the 90s. And I'm wondering if it's also because, like, so many studios were like, I don't want to deal with the MPA, man.
Right. Yeah, well, and you probably see a bunch of movies that maybe could have done good box office, get penalized for this, or get slashed to ribbons, and then they get bad reviews, and they don't make their money back and so on. So yeah, I wonder if it was just, don't bother because it's too much risk, it's too much effort.
But then we look at Scream, they had to go back to the MPA like 6 times to get that rating.
Yeah.
But okay, so Popcorn was released on February 1st, 1991, with the weekend's only other new release being Run, a thriller with Patrick Dempsey and Kelly Preston.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Popcorn bombed, though, opening in the number 8 spot with $2.5 million. Gotta say, though, the number 1 movie that week was Home Alone in its 13th week of release, and number 2 was Dances with Wolves in its 12th week of release. So we were still doing the holiday Oscar thing.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? Typically, in the run-up to the Oscar, I can't remember when the Oscars were. They always took place around the sort of February-March period. But yeah, like this would have been the time period where people get sleepy in the post-holiday season, but you're also trying to catch up with the prestige film. So yeah, horror isn't always top of mind. I mean, unless you're this fucking year, and then you're like, oh my God, horror movies all the fucking time. But hey, I mean... 35 years later, this is where we're at, right?
Yeah, just a bit. But either way, Popcorn wound up grossing $4.2 million against a production budget of $9 million. So this was a box office bomb.
Yeah.
It was received okay critically. There's a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean, like Entertainment Weekly gave it a B, Like there were some really good reviews out there. Roger Ebert did not review this movie, so it opened in a little over 1,000 theaters, so it wasn't like a low release, but I think...
that's big for those days.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe it just didn't hit.
Right.
And then Letterboxd users have given this a 3.2 out of 5, but this is one of those films that's kind of gone on to develop a cult following.
Yeah, you can totally see it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it, Joe. So what happens in Popcorn?
Return to Silent Hill is in theaters now. Based on the iconic Silent Hill 2, step into the fog and experience the nightmare.
You did it, didn't you, Jimmy? You woke him up.
Face your fears as you return to Silent Hill. In theaters nationwide. Find theaters and showtimes at tickets.returntosilenthill.com.
Okay, well, before we do, Trace, would you like to play a game?
I want to play a game. The rules are simple. All you have to do is sit here and talk to me.
Yes. Oh my God. What is it? Our normal game?
So we're going to play the trailer game.
Oh boy.
I'm going to pull a trailer from the German release of Popcorn.
I don't think my Blu-ray had trailers on it. So
no, it did not. No. So there were actually 3 different trailers. 2 by that Greek guy who did Island of Death that we covered a couple of years ago that nobody ever listened to. But,
oh my God, blast from the past.
Yeah, those trailers were wild because they were definitely like filmed in America or maybe like made to look like they were shot and set out in America, but they were like bizarre action movies. And I was honestly kind of intrigued, but they're far removed from horror. So I picked the horror trailer, which is what we're going to play. So I'm going to give you 3 different clues, and I would like you to guess the name of this film.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. Yeah, let's go.
You've never heard of it, so you're just going to have to trust the clues that I'm giving you. Make your best guess. Okay, so first clue. This 1988 horror exploitation comedy's tagline is, "These girls charge an arm and a leg."
Okay,
so clue number 2. This movie stars Linnea Quigley and Gunnar Hansen.
Oh, Jesus.
Gunnar Hansen is, of course, the individual who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw.
Girl, I seen Scream 4. I know that answer.
It was not for you. It was for other people. Third clue. This is the one that will give you the best help because this is the description from IMDb. A detective embarks on a mission to track down a woman in LA's seedy nightclubs, only to come face to face with a bloodthirsty cult of lethally beautiful prostitutes.
Oh my God. LA City Whores.
Oh my God. No, that is not correct.
Okay, well, LA, well, Hollywood Whores.
Okay, you are missing one key factor in all of this, and that would be the fact that they have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre connection.
Hollywood Chainsaw Whores.
Very, very close. You know what? I'll give it to you because the technical name of this movie is Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
I've never heard of this, but now I want to watch it.
No, I'm not going to lie. I watched the trailer and I don't think it looks good. Like, it actually looks very badly shot. There's a part where somebody attacks somebody with a chainsaw and then blood splashes them from a different direction than where they put the weapon. But I will say it does look like extreme B-movie schlock. It could be very fun if you're, maybe programming a popcorn-style marathon of garbage movies.
Oh my God. I will say, I wanted to go to this movie marathon that's in popcorn.
Oh, this looks like so much fucking fun.
I know. I wish we had like more gimmicky things. But I mean, I imagine the lawsuits with some of the electroshocks must be wild.
These did not look like tiny shocks. People are full on jumping out of their seat. Okay, so the movie opens with Maggie. I'm going to call her Maggie until she identifies as Sarah later on in the movie. So this is, yes, Joe Schoenlin, and she wakes up from her usual nightmare. So we've had this recurring dream, and she promptly dictates it into a tape recorder because she is an aspiring filmmaker, and this is all fodder for a film that she wants to make.
I will say, this is something my husband's doing because he actually suffers from nightmares a lot, like nightmares that just ruin his, like, he just can't really function the next day. He's started a dream journal where he starts to, immediately he'll wake up and he'll record his nightmare and then, start to try to therapize it that way. But I like this introduction, but I feel like it's a bit misleading because you might think, oh wow, this movie's going to be a bit more
supernatural, dream
surreal,
imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it isn't. It is not really that. I actually will say, as a first-time viewing experience, I was very confused about the transition from, okay, it's this guy who may or may not be dead, and there could be some supernatural components, to, oh no, this is just a straightforward, like, man in a mask kind of.
Well, and I have a question for you, Joe. Is this movie supernatural?
I think that there are moments that are 100% only explainable by the supernatural.
The one I'm thinking of specifically is that marquee, the letters flying off at Dee Wallace.
Yeah, and then she goes in and she literally interacts with the screen.
Yeah, like that entire sequence. I was like, this is so you think, oh, it's going to be Lanyard Gates. He's the bad guy. And then we kind of drop that.
We do. We 100% do. It's almost like they said, oh, in the rewrite, we're not going to do that kind of stuff anymore. But we've already shot the first act of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've introduced her, so let's introduce, quote-unquote, Mom, Suzanne, who, yes, is played by Dee Wallace. She's got her short hair. It took me a moment to recognize her. She looks great. Oh, yeah, she could be in this movie a little bit more.
Also, she just had a baby when she was filming this. But yeah, because she had to, prepare, and go pump a bunch to make sure that her baby had food because she couldn't leave the set.
Huh. Okay, I maybe maybe that's why she looks so good. She looks like she's glowing in this film.
Yeah, no, she looks great. I think this is kind of like the last like big horror film. Well, I say big, you know, like.
Right.
But like the last notable horror film she really made before she kind of like took a break, an acting break.
She took a break and then she came back for some Rob Zombie shit.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she's in Rob Zombie's little cult. That's great. Good for her.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got, Maggie waking up from this dream, and then downstairs, Suzanne is getting a threatening phone call. And you should be thinking, oh, okay, are these two elements connected? Because typically you're not going to have a movie that's going to say, okay, well, one person has this experience and this other person has this other weird threatening experience, but they're completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maggie goes to school at the University of California at Ocean View, because it's not just University of California.
And this is probably Toronto, because they did do some pickup shots in Toronto.
Okay, interesting. I didn't recognize it, but also I wasn't here in 1991, so...
Maybe it's in Jamaica then.
I mean, who knows? You tell us. Jamaicans? Let us know. So, yes, she flirts with her crush, Mark, who is Derek Rydall. And this is why I kind of thought it was a bit of a horror comedy, because we are doing wisecracks and a bit of comedy bits. So, you know, he says like, oh, we should like basically hang out sometime. And she says, this is the age of safe sex, and sex with you on any level is not safe.
Yeah, and I thought this was funny. I also think this sets up Mark to be kind of a douchebag, but you actually might not like him.
He's hilarious.
He's actually a really good guy.
I mean, so he's a really good guy. He is very funny. I like that he constantly needs saving until the very last minute when he suddenly becomes the hero of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit of a role reversal until, for the climax, we have to be like, well, let's have our male hero swoop in to save the day.
We've literally put our female protagonist into a metal dress, so we might need someone to help her out.
And he does literally swoop in. All right, swing in, drop in.
I put zipline in my notes.
Yeah, yes. Definitely zipline.
Okay, so we are in film class together, hence the Scream 2 references, but we're introduced to the rest of the cast. So we have Suck-Up, teaching assistant-esque. I definitely thought that Tina was older than the other kids.
Yeah.
But then later on, she talks about getting straight A's because she's been sleeping with Mr. Davis. So I was like, well, if you're the TA, you're not sleeping with your teacher.
I choose to believe that she is the TA, but like last semester she was his student.
Oh, maybe that's it. Or maybe she's fucking a bunch of teachers and she's getting straight A's across the board.
Entirely possible. But I also thought she was older than the rest as well.
Yeah, it's just something about the way she acts, but like specifically in this introduction. Later on, not as much, but it seems really pronounced here. In any case, the actor is Freddie Marie Simpson. We have disabled jokester Bud, who is played by Malcolm Denard. We have Leon, who is only noticeable when we get to the theater and he puts on his kind of electroshock hair wig thing.
He is the most underserved by this script out of all these characters, probably.
I would agree. Yeah, there are a couple of points that I confused him and Toby early in the film, but he is played by Elliot Hertz. We also have Joni, who is Yvette Solar, and then my favorite, Cheryl, who is Kelly Jo Minter. I like Joni and Cheryl, and I wish that both of them got more to do, or maybe that they were one character so that it was just a fully fleshed out person.
I agree. I wish they had more to do, but I'm also surprised they don't die before the credits roll of this movie.
I mean, we nearly killed Joni and then don't, and I thought it was one of the most subversive elements of this movie, because in any other film, we would have just killed her to up the body count.
Yeah. Now, Kelly Jo Minter, by the way, is also kind of horror royalty. She's the best friend and also survives A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and...
Oh, yes, okay, I knew I recognized her and I just couldn't place her.
And then, well, you also recognize her from The People Under the Stairs.
She's got some good cred then.
Yeah, she's the girl that does the tarot card readings, and she shows up and she tells the mother, or sister, mother, whatever, fuck you.
Okay, so rounding out the group is Toby, Tom Villard, and he has really come up with this plan. So they're looking to raise a little bit of money so that they can make their student films. So they're going to do this all-night movie marathon. It's all horror films. Mr. Davis, who is played by Tony Roberts, has agreed to go along with it. So they're going to do Mosquito in 3D projecto-vision. They're going to do The Attack of the Amazing Electrified Man in Shockoscope. And finally, we're going to do The Stench in Aromarama.
Well, and the funny thing about all this, Joe, is that in 1995, a movie named Mosquito does get released, and it's very much about giant mosquitoes. And guess who it stars?
Who does it star?
Gunnar Hansen.
No! See, this is why I love doing this, because horror movies, it sometimes feels like we're just constantly playing the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game.
Well, and it's because I think there was Mosquito, and then there was another one called Skeeter.
Right. Well, and to be honest, this is the main reason why I thought we were just repurposing older movies, because I mean, I think one of the actors, like the guy who is the villain, quote unquote, the guy who gets electrocuted and then basically is Shocker from Wes Craven. Yeah. That actor, he plays another role in the world of popcorn, so not within that movie. And that to me was the only real telltale sign that we hadn't just repurposed other people's films.
Well, I also thought the same thing with Shocker, where I was like, because Shocker would have come out 2 years before this movie. And so it actually, I mean, it didn't make a lot of money, but I feel like these people would have still been aware of it when they wrote this film within the film.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, you said earlier, it feels like what we're doing is pulling from films of the 40s and 50s, right? Like Mosquito is very clearly built on all of the nuclear terror films, like Them and other things. Yeah. And then I won't lie, I was pleasantly surprised that we picked a dubbed movie for The Stench. So part of me hoped that that was also a real film, just to be like, oh, look, film students, they're going to pick a movie that also has international credibility.
P.S. though, I mean, I've only seen Shocker once. I don't remember liking it that much. But the co-lead of Shocker is Peter Berg, the creator of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, because he used to act a lot.
Yeah.
He's okay. I think he's a better director than he is an actor. But...
I always forget he did Very Bad Things.
Yes, he did.
But now he does a lot of those...
He does a lot of generic action movies.
It says Mark Wahlberg movies, like Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, Mile 22. He does all those now.
And I will say, if you're looking for action, I just covered Deepwater Horizon with Jen for Murder Made Fiction. It's like, there's some really good set pieces. Characters, couldn't name them. It was like, famous person... in danger situation.
Oh, I was so excited to see Deepwater Horizon because Gina Rodriguez from Jane the Virgin was in it. And she's good in it, but...
she's like the third billed lead, but like if you ask me to tell you her name, I literally cannot.
Oh, yeah. I think she has like one set piece where she might die, but then she doesn't. So I was like, okay, cool. Well,
yeah, and then Mark Wahlberg tosses her off the top.
But then she doesn't die.
She doesn't die, yeah. Okay, so the action shifts to the abandoned Dreamland Theater. This is where we're going to set up for the rest of the film, and it's going to be torn down in 3 weeks. They bring in this memorabilia shop owner, Dr. M, who is Ray Walston. Love this guy. This is such a fun character bit.
Really famous for the old black and white TV show My Favorite Martian, in which he played the Martian, by the way.
Okay, know who he was giving? He was giving that guy who shows up in fucking everything in the late 90s. Anaconda, The Mummy.
Oh, Jonathan Hyde. He was giving Jonathan Hyde.
He was giving me Jonathan Hyde.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Absolutely.
So I initially, because of course I didn't know where this movie was going to go, I was like, he's in on it. He's clearly the villain. He's going to show back up. No, nope. He doesn't. He literally shows up to give them a bunch of sick as fuck looking memorabilia to just like pimp this theater out, and it looks so fucking good in the way that only movies and like Halloween and parties do.
Yeah, well, that's
so good.
That's the thing, because this movie marathon night they're doing, it's like a combination of a haunt and a movie marathon, and like all the gimmicks they were doing, even like in the front of the theater when people were walking in, I was like, this looks so fucking fun.
It looks so good. It looks expensive. Part of me was like, this is a fundraiser. How much money are you spending?
Well, I think the idea is, this guy donated all these props, and so they didn't really have to pay for much, and I'm assuming the theater probably cost nothing because it's supposed to be torn down, but I was like, y'all put all this together in 3 weeks? Jesus Christ.
So impressed. I think there's a moment where somebody says, oh, are we gonna have enough time? And it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that's part of why they bring in Dr. M, because he basically says, oh, you've got this trio of turkeys, like the 3 films. And then he says, we're going to turn this into a memorable movie-going feast using showmanship. And you just think, Yeah, okay. Let's fucking montage this bitch.
Oh my god, the montage. Okay, so because my Blu-ray is one of those ones where like it has a song and like a montage that plays over like the main menu.
Credits.
Yeah, it's not just silent.
Okay.
And so I was working on something while I put the disc in, but what plays over the main menu is this montage, and it's got this song. I think it's a cover, but it's the 1965 song "Saturday Night at the Movies" by the Drifters, and it's Saturday night at the movies at the picture. Oh, I can't do it actually, but anyway,
You've done it several times.
Doesn't matter what I'm seeing Saturday night at the movies.
Reggae.
Oh yeah, it's like full reggae. But like I it got stuck in my head. I was like humming it all day.
Oh, it's very addictive. And, you know, I love a well-executed montage. Like, we're doing everything we need to do. This is really where you get a sense of who these characters are as they're setting up, as they're interacting with each other. And they're not shitty.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
It feels like I broke my brain because I just kept waiting. Oh, where's the fucking asshole? Where's the people who are going to be fighting this entire movie? And they all just genuinely seem to get along. They're having a good time. They want to make this happen.
Well, and I will say too, like, so I genuinely like a lot of these characters, but I also I'm not sitting there like going, oh, whenever someone dies, because the tone of the movie, like these aren't mean-spirited kills.
No, not really. If anything, part of me was like, hey, why are you killing half of these people because they have no connection to you? It seems like, you know, we're doing that usual thing where we're trying to get to the lead.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, keep her friends out of it. They didn't do anything to you.
I thought the exact same thing, and then I think I figured it out. So basically, he's only killing people whose faces he needs to steal.
Yeah, or people who come upon him.
Yeah.
And I mean, in some ways, I think I mentioned this to you when I realized, oh, we're swapping faces, we're swapping costumes and so on. It's a little reminiscent of Terror Train, which would have come out 10 years earlier.
Oh, I like that too, because instead of switching out Halloween costumes, we're just switching out actual identities.
Yeah, but in that movie, it feels much more ridiculous. Like, we're killing people a bit more arbitrarily. The order doesn't seem quite right. Because remember, that's one of those prank gone wrong. We trap everybody on the train, and then anybody who was involved in the prank, we're going to kill off. So that feels more motivated, but also we just fuck up the order, and the deaths seem really punitive for the wrong people. Whereas here, you're right. It definitely seems to be who can get me to where I need to be, who's got a face I need, or oops, that person saw me in a compromising position and now they gotta get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, which I like. I mean, I think the death I would have been most bothered by is Joni's, because she doesn't need to die at that point, and that's also the person we don't kill.
Yeah. Joni and Cheryl.
Yes, exactly. My queens.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're cleaning up the theater. We prep the shock clock, which I really liked and would happily own in my own house. We also test the odor pellets. Trace flavors include fish, locker room, roadkill, fart plane, and dead dog.
Yeah, this I Odorama, or like Smell-O-Vision, it had a phase, but it wasn't as lengthy as like that of 3D or something like that.
Yeah, I just feel like this is a case of diminishing returns, where you're going to do it once, you're going to flood the theater with this toxic gas smell. Like, even if it was lavender or rosemary or something that isn't unpleasant, it's going to linger. It's going to be annoying. Whereas something like the tingle or the mosquito coming down or even the 3D glasses, it doesn't feel like it's completely compromising your experience in the way that odor does.
Yeah, but like, because John Waters tried to redo the Smell-O-Vision thing when he released Polyester in the mid-'80s. But with that, it was, instead of like releasing a smell into the theater, you were actually given a scratch and sniff card when you walked in. And the theater would tell you the number to scratch, and you would scratch that to get the smell for what was on screen. So that makes
works
more
better.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it's probably not going to just stink up the entire theater. It's like you put the card up to your nose, give it a smell, put it back down.
Yeah, but I also wonder, how do they get the smells for dead dog, you know?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Like, they've got so many of these pellets, too.
Yeah. I know. Well, you know, if we ever cover Perfume, the Story of a Murderer, we'll figure out how to capture scents of people.
Oh, yes. I believe it involves killing them and boiling their bodies.
Yeah, that's about
rendering
right.
their fat. Yeah, good times. Also, don't threaten me with a good time, sir.
I know.
Okay, so during the prep, they discover an old movie reel, which is marked danger, and they eventually discover that this is Possessor. So it's a very scary movie. The imagery is reminiscent of Maggie's opening nightmare to the point that she faints. And when she awakens, Mr. Davis, the teacher who is on site shepherding all of this, he immediately tells her literally everything. Single relevant detail just off the top of his head.
I mean, like, this is like a very lazy exposition dump, but I also
is. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it because I'm like, cool, we get this out of the way in like a minute-long monologue.
Yeah. So what you need to know is Possessor was made by 60s cult guru Lanyard Gates, who is played by Matt Falls in the movie. He made weird avant-garde films that got laughed off the stage. His response was to make this movie, Possessor, minus the last act, which he then tried to recreate or perform live on stage, which involved killing his family, and it didn't go super well. We ended up setting the theater on fire. The doors were locked, and a bunch of people died,
including Lanyard Gates.
Yes,
which
reportedly.
He's like, they're going for Charles Manson here, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like if Charles Manson were a director,
right? Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he killed his wife and daughter on the screen. Like, that's what he was recreating in the final scene was, he killed his family before the theater burned down.
Yes, yeah. But we should note that no body was ever found, so people continue to whisper. This film was apparently missing for a while, so mystery. All right, so I do like that, we voted on, yes, we're all in agreement, we're going to do this horror movie marathon, and then they vote on vetoing showing Possessor in the lineup. It's like, no, we're not going to do that.
And I think Joni's the one that says, like, I don't think showing a movie where the man actually killed his wife and daughter is something it's going to put a downer on the night. I'm like, probably, Joni.
Probably. I do appreciate that. I think somebody says, should we give it to the police? Because if you think about it, it is a snuff tape.
Yeah, exactly that. But I don't think they do.
No, they do not. No, because we play it at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that night, Maggie has more nightmares, and this prompts Suzanne to lie very badly about
I know.
Lanyard Gates. It's like, Mom, do you know anything about Lanyard Gates? And Suzanne just goes, no.
And again, you're like, wow, this isn't like they're really like laying their cards down unintentionally, but it's actually very intentional because we have Suzanne like take action right away. Well, after she gets another threatening phone call, which I will say the surprise for me in this scene was when, not that I thought the phone call was a recording, but it's like the Black Christmas. He doesn't really like respond to them that much.
No, it felt automated or scripted. It was not interactive. It was basically like, take your gun and come and get me, you bitch. I'm at the theater. I'm in Dreamland.
Yeah. And so she just screams like, no. And he's like, well then, why don't we talk? And I'm like, okay, cool. That's cool. Let's do it. And we don't waste any time.
No, it's literally cut. She's outside the theater with a fucking gun. And you think, oh, okay. There's no pomp and circumstance. I guess we're just getting right into it. So yeah, but then we get this incredibly supernatural sequence where lights are popping, electricity seems to be sparking. We've got the letters on the marquee rearranging to spell out Possessor. She gets an automated ticket and there's nobody in the booth. And then she goes in. Possessor is playing. She has a full-on fucking conversation with Lanyard Gates. And then I will say, when we were talking about the direction, this was one of the moments I thought, oh, this is really good. She's got a flashlight and there's somebody kind of running by and around her and you can't quite see who it is, but she keeps falling into these, well, not falling, she backs up into these pools of light in the darkness so that we can see her, but we can't see around her. And I thought this was really effective.
I thought the same thing. I think actually, I don't find Popcorn to be a particularly scary film because I don't think it's trying to scare you, but
it's atmospheric.
But this, I thought like if there was a vote for like scariest scene, this is it. Like, and also the sound design, because like there's a moment where you can hear a chainsaw revving in the distance. She has that ray of light over her eyes, like film noir, and also Angelica Houston in the Addams Family movies.
Oh my god, stop it.
But yeah, no, I thought this is all really fun. And even if it ends in a kind of like a cliche, like, oh, like someone's hands come through the wall and grab her.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's an effective jump scare, I thought.
It's effective. Yeah. This is all good. And again, it feels like the kind of thing where I just wrote in my notes, and Suzanne dies because she gets got.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't. She'll come back later in the movie.
But to your earlier point, I do wish there was more Dee Wallace in this movie.
Oh, sure. Because it's fucking Dee Wallace.
It's Dee Wallace.
And she's great.
It's Dee Wallace, yeah.
Okay, so in the morning, Maggie finds a very nondescript note wishing her luck from Suzanne. I was just like, again, who came into her house to write this note?
I mean, I think we're supposed to believe that Toby did it.
I think so, which is wild because, like, why didn't you just abduct her and hold her prisoner? And then, I mean, I guess he is very theatrical, Toby, so... One might even say he's a little bit extra.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, why doesn't he just capture her beforehand so we can have her ready to go for when the final scene he's going to do it?
Because you can't have a classmate just disappear, right? You need to have all of this come together so you've got the full audience and everybody is on board, and then we do the big reveal.
Yeah, exactly. So he's putting like a lot of his eggs in this basket that's just going to work out for him. And I guess to his credit, it almost does, but...
I guess it's just... There's a reason he abducted Suzanne the night before, because any earlier, and obviously Maggie would have noticed, but it's still just wild that it's like, tonight's my big night for the fundraiser. Oh, I guess I won't talk to mom/aunt until later because she's just left me this note and I don't hear from her for the rest of the day.
Not at all. And even when we get to the theater, she's not like, have y'all seen my mom?
No, she literally never asked about Suzanne until she shows back. You know what? They're not that close. It's not really her mom.
That's fine.
So it's fine. Yeah, I also love that we don't have to watch them get ready or get anxious about the night. It's like, we're at the theater, bam, it's night, the crowds are arriving, we're in costume, the show is about to fucking begin. This movie, I mean, we've said it, it's a 90-minute movie we could have done with a little bit more exposition and character development, but I will say, it moves along at a good clip. I was never bored.
I absolutely, in full agreement with you there.
Okay, so the crowds are coming in. Everybody's getting all amped up. We've got Cheryl on concession, and she is hawking shit like she is... Honestly, it's like she's at a rock concert and she is doing merch for the band. Like, do you want your popcorn? You want your drink? Come on over here. $20. Like, she sold this entire fundraiser.
I almost found the enthusiasm for these kids like quite infectious. I'm sorry, I did find their enthusiasm quite infectious, actually. So it's just a thing. So if you see characters having fun, like sometimes you can have fun too.
Having fun.
Yeah. Unless you're watching like the new Anaconda, and in which case you're just like, this isn't fun. Why are you having fun?
Stop pretending to be having fun because this is insufferable. Yes. We've got Joni in a nurse costume, and then Leon has a corresponding outfit. He basically looks like a mad scientist.
Yeah.
And then Toby, does he really have a costume? He's just kind of up in a tux, right?
Yeah, I think so. I honestly don't remember even what he was wearing, but I guess because he's meant to be in like the production booth the entire time, he's not really...
Exactly. He doesn't have to be quote unquote in costume. Spoiler alert. He's always in costume. We've got Tina and Maggie alternating in the ticket booth, and then we've got Bud and Mr. Davis doing the tech. So they're going to be in charge of basically all the electrified seats, as well as the giant mosquito and other fun things like that. So everybody's set up, everybody's having a ball, and we're ready to begin. Mm-hmm. But before we do that, Trace, we have to introduce one additional character. So Mark comes to buy a ticket, and he has brought his absolute bitch of a girlfriend, Joy, who is played by Karen Laurie. And I will say, this is where Mark starts to get very fun. In any other movie, it would be Maggie pining for Mark, and he's got a girlfriend, and she's a bitch, and we're very sad for the rest of the film. And instead... Maggie's got shit she's dealing with, and Mark just seems to constantly be hanging around her and getting smashed in the face with things.
Yeah, I mean, and he drops Joy. Like, he just completely leaves her from... To the point
where... He goes to get popcorn and
never
doesn't
comes
come
back. And
I loved it.
Joy isn't really much of a character. She doesn't really get much like development or any kind of lines until her final scene where she just goes off on all these women. But it's like, it's fun. It's fun.
It's very fun. It's like, we know that she's not a character because you're actually just supposed to be interested in Mark and hoping he gets with Maggie. So we don't need to do anything with Joy except be like, yeah, she's a bitch.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so things seem to be going well. The other sticking point is when Maggie has a weird encounter. So a man with burnt hands calls her Sarah and buys a ticket, and she's so unnerved because she recognizes the voice and she recognizes the hand. She follows this man into the theater, but he manages to dodge her in this very, very crowded auditorium of 1,000 people. But this will basically kick off her investigation. So she goes back to the ticket booth like once, but for the most part, she's just kind of out investigating.
Yeah, but it's a thing where it's like, okay, so because we're meant to believe at this point, well, this is Lanyard Gates, this is ghost or zombie or whatever talking to her, and I actually really do like the reveal that it's like, no, he's been dead this entire time. Like, this is 100%. Not Lanyard Gates. Again, minus the supernatural stuff we've just discussed, but
yeah, I mean, that's the bulk of it, though. Like, I don't really feel like the rest of the film is supernatural, so I don't know how Toby managed to do that. Like, it would have helped if we had said he's got magic or he rigged the theater or something like that. Like, we just needed that extra confirmation. But the rest of the film, it's very clearly Toby in costume fucking around with Maggie.
But even this moment, though, where it's like, okay, well, why is he doing this for her? Because, A, as you said, it kicks off her investigation. So it's making her, like, run around and try to, like, solve things.
She's very paranoid.
Which shouldn't be good for Toby. But also, doesn't he have things to be doing? Like, how does he have time to go get in costume as Lanyard, go get a ticket, and then go back and, like, escape from her, and then go back and to do whatever Toby's
it's the first film. He's already got Mosquito all done up. You know, the first reel is ready to go. We just have to hit start on the projector, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start with Mosquito, and Maggie ends up tracking down Toby. So, like, we start the movie, and she goes up to the projection booth. She says, I think I saw Lanyard, and she agrees to monitor the film as he goes to investigate. So I think this does give him some leeway. I wonder if he likes fucking with her. Like, if he's actively courting her paranoia and her fear, because she does seem to confide in him most of the time until she starts confiding in Mark.
Right. Entirely possible. And again, I guess for you, did you call Toby being the killer?
I did, only because I knew that he was our queer component, and you said the main guy when we were talking about the film, so I was like, Toby must be more important. But also, he's got big energy in this movie. Like, I didn't think Cheryl was going to come to the forefront except for her big scene near the end, whereas every time Toby took the stage, he really commands it, and I thought, oh, it feels like we're building this character up to something more significant. Rewatching
it for me, it was just because he's absent from most of the first movie, and he has that moment where he comes back and he's like, oh, like, you locked me outside, and I'm like, that's really convenient.
Yeah. Like, it's typical, oh, you're the killer because no one could account for where you were, and then you come back and you conveniently got bitten by a Doberman, which might explain any injuries you've accrued.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So he is immediately locked outside. Of course, this works much better if you know, okay, well, it's because he was plotting and doing other things. But I will say it doesn't hold up because we do get a scene of him just being locked outside and banging on the door and being like, hey, you guys.
Yeah.
And you're like, is that something he didn't plan and he's genuinely annoyed? Because if not, it's only for our benefit as the audience.
Yeah, you need to cut that part out. Again, it's like a 2-second shot.
It's not a big deal, but it doesn't make sense a ton when you reflect back on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Maggie accidentally headbutts Mark for the very first time here, and Mr. Davis sends the mosquito prop down the wire as the A-bomb goes off. So this is the end of the first film, and we can see it's the big climax of the movie.
Oh, okay, wait, I'm sorry, but the effect in Mosquito, of this mosquito sucking the brain out of this guy, is really cool looking.
FX is so good.
Well, and it's funny because I think in both Mosquito and Skeeter, the 90s mosquito films we get, one of them at least does that same effect where it's like, yeah, the mosquitoes suck you and like your eyes pop out almost because they're so bulgy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good effects.
Okay, interesting. You and I both really enjoy creature features, but I'll confess that doesn't extend to giant or mutated versions of them.
Right. See, as a kid, I watched Mosquito. I can't remember if it was Mosquito or Skeeter. I really can't remember which one it was. But, but they aired on Sci-Fi all the time. Like the ones that aired on Sci-Fi were always like a mutant, whatever.
Yes.
I agree with you. I would rather it be like natural animals that are just doing this. But I mean, even look at like alligator. You know, alligator technically is a mutated alligator. It's just really big, but it's not fair. Like, I don't know. But I see what you're saying there. There is a distinction between those two types of creature features.
Yeah, like whenever we're getting into radiated animals or something, I mean, it's not that I'm not interested in them, I'm just not naturally gravitating to them.
And I guess too with those types of movies, it's almost always bugs.
Yeah, although even as we're saying this, I realize we sound very stupid because one of our mutual favorite films is Deep Blue Sea, which is definitely...
Yeah, but they still look like regular Mako sharks.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just smarter. Like their changes are internal, not external.
So what we're saying is we don't want to see infected, like radioactive, mutant lizard movies or insect movies. We want to see smart mosquito movies.
Yeah, smart. Exactly. Honestly, if you put that plot of Deeply Sea on any other animal, I'm here for it.
Yeah. You know what? Filmmakers, challenge to you. Balls in your court.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we've got the mosquito prop going down. By the way, this mosquito prop looks great.
Looks great. I love the way this is shot too, because we have Davis, holding his little controller, and then the way it's framed,
it's so funny.
We have the killer, show up with another controller.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just perched over your shoulder and I've assumed controls. Like, how does this work? Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. But it's so silly. And this also feels very, obvious, but Giallo inspired, because Toby is wearing the black gloves. And of course, we don't see the face. So we're just seeing the hands manipulating the controls. And then Mr. Davis just gets impaled on this mosquito proboscis. And nobody notices. And it's all very satisfying. And then the body just gets dragged away.
And also, I guess I mentioned Phantom of the Opera earlier because Jill Sholem was in that 89 one. But yeah, this feels like Phantom of the Theater in a way, for the first half at least.
Definitely. I was getting stage fright vibes, both the good and the bad one. I do think Scream 2, you know what? Kevin Williamson had to have seen it.
He had to have seen this.
No, because the Maureen Prescott thing is definitely Sarah at the end, where she's pleading and everybody's like, kill her. Let's do the countdown.
Yeah. Maureen Roberts. Because Maureen Prescott's Sydney's mom.
Oh, I said Prescott. I just meant to say Maureen.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. The Jada Pinkett part.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Davis is dead, and then we're transitioning between films. So Mosquito is now over. We're prepping to set up the attack of the electrified man, but in between, we get to see masks getting made, and this is a whole production. It looks like a fucking line of people working on this, because we've got a bath with a bunch of different masks. We've got other ones that are cooling. We've got a press that you put on. And of course, when we put on the mask, it's just the actor whose face we've taken, but the transitions between and the masks when we see them independent are so good looking that there were multiple times where I just thought, I know that this is a very simple effect, and I think it just works so fucking well.
There's a shot where the killer is holding the Mr. Davis's mask up, but it looks like the face is doing like a tick of it. Like the mask is doing a facial tick, like it's moving on its own.
Yeah.
And because I was looking, I was like, I couldn't tell if it was the killer like moving it himself, but it didn't look like his hands were moving. And I was like, that looks really cool and also kind of scary.
Yeah. The mask stuff, I just think is so good. There's a moment later on. Actually, there's several moments later on.
With the flaps.
Yeah. The flaps, but also the kiss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The kiss looks... That's very Society-esque.
Oh, which I still haven't seen. You promised that we can cover it one of these days. But...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we should totally cover it. I thought you had seen it by now. But yeah, we'll cover Society one day.
Okay. All right. So, yes, we have stolen Mr. Davis's face. We have made a mask out of it. Meanwhile, Maggie is hanging out with Mark because remember, he left his girlfriend so he could come and buy popcorn, but now he's just hanging out with Maggie. And she's trying to say, no, I saw Lanyard Gates. This is what I'm experiencing. And he's not intending to be a douche about it, but he's definitely poking holes in all of her theories. Like, well, how would this work? What did you really see? Mm-hmm. He's a doubting Thomas. But then this is when Toby arrives and he's, very annoyed at them because he believes that they locked him out of the theater. He's had to go over this barbed wire fence. He got attacked by a dog. We're laying out some groundwork for a future joke, which is quite funny. So we begin movie number 2, the attack of the, I called it wrong. It's the attack of the amazing electrified man.
Oh, I did not know that. I missed the
apologies.
Amazing. Oh.
My apologies. So Mark tries to return to his seat, but it has been taken by Bearded Guy, who is played by Scott Thompson. And I love the casual nature with which this unfolds. We saw this guy come and take the seat and we thought, oh, okay, well, Joy is that kind of girl where it doesn't really matter if a man just sits down next to her. But here, the guy fully has his arm around her. She looks like she doesn't care that Mark has come back. And it's just super funny. Like, we get up, we punch Mark in the face. So Mark has now received 2 blows to the head. And we're just telling him to eat shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So Bud is also up in the control room, but he's having difficulty with the shock board. So this is the thing to shock individual people's seats at specific times, but he wants to be able to do more than one manually, but he can't figure it out because he needs Mr. Davis. So he asks Tina if she can go and find the teacher, and this will ultimately get her killed. But in the meantime, we go back to the ticket booth. And this is where Maggie discovers that a message has been left on her tape recorder for Sarah. And so she goes to play this, but she smashes the door into Mark. So that's number 3, if you're keeping track. And in this encounter, she ends up smashing the recorder. So she doesn't have any proof that a message was left for Sarah.
Boo.
Yeah. So at this point, you might be like, oh, we're really dragging this out. But I promise you, folks, if you're watching the film, like if you haven't seen this movie and you're just listening, this doesn't feel like we're dragging it out.
No, and also because, I mean, so the next set piece we get is Tina's death scene. And
yeah.
She goes up, she sees Mr. Davis, and they, you know, this is where we learn that she's been fucking him for her A's.
Yes.
They kiss. I mean, I actually love this, though, because you can see the mask line on Mr. Davis's neck.
Yes.
And she comments that his lips are peeling. And I was like, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, because these people also aren't stupid. So, you know, we can very clearly see, oh, that's the mask line where Toby has unsuccessfully managed to kind of pat it down so that it looks natural. But she's picking up on, it's not, oh, you're acting differently. Like, babe, what's wrong with your voice? It's not the stupid slasher stuff that we tended to see in the 80s. It's very much, hey, something's off here. But, you know, she goes in for the kiss, and clearly Toby had not planned on doing any of this with a mask on, because she ends up pulling the lips right off of this mask. It happens in glorious slow motion, and it is really creepy and gross looking.
Well, and this is exactly the 45-minute mark, the halfway point of the movie, and I love that this is when we also get our first full reveal of the killer. And this is actually kind of great because you're expecting it to be like Lanyard Gates, and it's the makeup of the killer, and we don't know it's Toby yet, of course.
No, it's just some horribly burnt person.
Yes, with these enormous staples on his face, like because some of them are holding his top lips up, I guess, because I guess he can't move it, or I don't really know, but it looks great.
Yeah, I think he might have some either plastic or metal pieces that have kind of helped to provide shape and structure, but to also keep it up. And it's just really evocative. It's not disgusting, but it is gross. It's not scary, but it is unnerving. Like, again, if you're thinking about, like, I could imagine this being pitched at a PG-13 audience and saying, this is going to upset younger people, but in a good for a horror movie kind of way. Yeah.
Listeners, I'm curious. Like, when you watch this, do you think that this could pass for PG-13 today? Because I honestly think it might.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is super duper great. And of course, Tina ends up getting killed. She gets killed off screen, and we'll see her body when Mark...
Okay. Yeah. This puppeteering scene.
The puppeteering is fucking great.
I actually do think this is really creepy. There's
it is.
So this is a weird thing of mine, but like in certain movies, like when a killer or someone who is nefarious is like doing a whispering thing. Okay. Do you remember in Clue whenever Yvette dies, but like we don't know who kills her, and the person's like, who saw you?
Yeah.
As a kid, for some reason, that just scared the crap out of me. Like the killer whispering and you can't see them. And so this moment, where Sarah and Mark encounter Tina, quote unquote, in the rafters, and we can tell, like, this is not her talking. Like,
she's definitely dead, and the body is being manipulated by somebody behind her, but she's very clearly in the shadows as well. So if you didn't know she was dead, you might think, oh, she's just acting a little bit weird.
Yes, and then she just keeps whispering, and she's pointing. Like, this, I do think, is actually one of the creepiest parts of the movie.
Yeah. Also, I love, once again, folks, Trace and I are recording some things out of order, so you're going to hear us have some of these conversations like in a couple of weeks. But I love, once again, your most weird references, like a creepy whisper from fucking Clue, whereas I'm like, oh, Black Christmas, it's Billy in the closet.
I know I just remember watching Clue that first time when I was a kid, and for some reason that, of course we'll learn it's Miss Scarlet whispering to her was so scary to me. I don't know why, but also this sequence is punctuated by this joke.
Yes.
So they walk away, and Mark just goes, Tina should start eating better. She looks like shit.
Yeah. You just think, oh my God, Mark is supposed to be our hot himbo protagonist hero guy. And instead, he's the comedic relief of this movie.
I love it. It is subversive. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So they are none the wiser, but Tina has definitely been killed. So hers is the new face mask that we will put on. So Mark and Maggie end up investigating. They inadvertently get locked out of the same doors that Toby got locked out of. So we end up basically saying, okay, we're going to have to go over that barbed wire fence. And Maggie says, oh, I thought there was a dog. We just have to be careful. And he's like, well, if Toby handled it, I should be fine.
I'll be fine.
There will be a joke, not quite blink and you miss it, but it's not made a big deal out of. But when they do ultimately make it back to the theater, he has to be patched up because his pants have been ripped open and he has multiple dog bites. And I just love that we don't say, hey, do you get the joke? Do you understand it? Like, they just trust that we get it.
Well, I love that we don't see the dog attack. No. I think that's actually really funny. And then, like, Joni's like, bend over. I got to do some repair work. And she's sewing up his ass crack.
Yeah. Okay, so in the tech booth, this is where we see Lanyard Gates, who is now wearing Tina's mask and outfit. This killer comes in and shaves a patch of hair from the head of Bud, and then puts on basically an electrocutioner's mask over this person, fries the entire board, which pops light bulbs in the marquee and plunges the theater into total darkness. And the way I've described it makes it sound very quick and very in sequence. This gets drawn out for, what do you think, 3 minutes?
Yeah, a good bit. So, because there's not a ton of queerness to this film. And this is the one moment where we do have the killer, who is a male, in female drag, basically. But we never see Tina's face, which I thought is really weird that we don't do that with this.
But we are definitely adopting a female affectation when Toby is posing as a woman. And there seems to be no reticence to, like, you could obviously read this as, oh, this character is homicidal, so it doesn't trouble them to put on a costume. And as I made a joke / reference earlier, in some ways, Toby is always playing dress up.
Yeah.
Because technically...
Toby doesn't exist.
Yeah, like, Toby doesn't exist, and Toby doesn't ever look the way that we see him when he's presenting as, you know, a regular person.
Right, yeah. But I agree with you. There are some mannerisms, because this is still Freddie Marie Simpson as Tina. Like, this is not Tom Villard playing Tina. But yeah, I do love it. Like, she keeps slapping Bud's face whenever she's putting the stuff on him, and I think that's really funny.
Yeah. There's some funniness, there's some tension here because it is so drawn out. I agree with you. I think the bit with, oh my God, he's trying desperately to unplug the thing that's going to electrocute him before the yellow light turns on, because of course that's what the message read. It's a little predictable. Like, you know he's not going to get out of it. You know he's going to die by electrocution here, and you know it's probably going to take out all the lights in the theater, and we're going to do something in the dark. So it's not as though there's anything too novel about this, but I did feel like the tension was well executed. I thought that this was well employed. I was a little sad to see Bud go because this was very casual disability representation. Yeah. Bud is just one of the students. He's a bit of a jokester, but not unlike the annoying Friday the 13th kind of way.
I was literally about to say the same thing. And granted, I don't find Shelley as annoying as most people do, but I 100% yes. This is the Shelley type character that is nowhere near as obnoxious as that character.
Yeah, no, I like that all of the characters are just kind of regular people, and you know, some of them have crushes on other people, but even that isn't, oh, we're super coupley. Like, I totally thought that Joni and Leon were a couple, and it's not until she says, I've got a huge crush on Toby, that I thought, wait, what?
It comes out of no, it's only there so she doesn't have to get killed, but yeah.
Sure, but I'm not bothered by it.
No, not at all.
Okay, so Bud is dead. The theater is in the dark. Thank God. The second movie was nearly done anyway. We were shocking a bunch of people, and it was quite entertaining to watch people jump out of their seats and react and that kind of stuff. So it's all good stuff.
I do like, too, in the Electrocuted Man movie, because I guess the Electrocuted Man's name is Richard. And so the woman's like, kiss me, dick. And then you have this ADR audience member going, kiss your what?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, until the shit really hits the fan with all of the murder stuff that's going on that they're not privy to, this audience is having a fucking blast. Like, they are raucous. Like, if you were hoping to enjoy the movie and be able to follow any of the plot, this would not be your bag.
No, not at all.
Because they're they're wisecracking their way through these 3 films. Okay, so Nurse Joni and Leon, they realize, okay, we've got to keep this crowd entertained because we don't want a riot on our hands. We don't want anybody to get hurt in the dark. We've got 1,000 people in the theater. So they call it the band. I mean, do we sign these people? Did we make money off of this? Because this is the same people who do the song, no?
Maybe, but I did think it was because I rewatched this for the first time before I knew it was filmed in Jamaica. So I was like, why do we have this reggae band up here? Because the only comparable scene I could think of in another movie I had seen that wasn't like set in Jamaica was Never Been Kissed when she eats that weed brownie. But I think even that's reggae bar.
Yeah. Yeah. God, somebody ate my whole pie.
Love that movie so much.
It's very good. And also, I can tell you, I watched it for my YA podcast, and Brenna had never seen it. So she watched it, I want to say, in 2023.
No.
And she was just like, Joe, you cannot be serious about this being an okay movie because everything this is a teacher who fucks his student. And I was like, they never fuck.
Yeah, he fucks her after he finds out she's of age.
And also they're both adults.
Yeah, they're both, but he doesn't know that. I mean, look, the social politics that Never Been Kissed have never been very good.
No,
but if you can just look past that, it's a great movie.
It is. It's so much fun. Yeah. I'm Rosalind. I've got a big sword. Okay, yes. So we bring the band out. We're dancing along. Audience is having an okay time. We've got flashlights and stuff, so everything is okay. This is where Mark and Maggie decide that they're going to go down the stairs or something. This part I found was a little bit confusing because basically he falls down the stairs in the dark and then he says, watch out for my... And she steps on his hand. And again, comedic beat, this is the 4th time he has hit his head or been in an injury. And this doesn't even include the Doberman bites he's gotten. Right. But also, Mark disappears for a long stretch of time. And that leaves Maggie open to be abducted by Toby. And it doesn't quite track. It feels like we needed some kind of scene where he maybe got knocked out or somebody was babysitting him for a little while to make sure he was okay.
I'm actually really glad that you felt the same way because I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, I can't really tell what's happening based on the notes that I took on this scene. But
no,
she eventually comes face to face with the killer who she believes is Gates. And
it is Lanyard Gates. So Toby has dressed up like Lanyard at this point.
Oh, got it. But we get this slow motion sequence where she's like running away. And
it's gorgeous. It looks like a fucking music video.
It's super great, but I love this. So basically, after all of this, it's like a minor chase scene, nothing really notable. But like after this, Maggie figures it all out. She's like, I'm Sarah Gates. Suzanne is my aunt, not my mother. My father killed my mother. Suzanne shot him and she ran away with me. And there we go.
Yeah. So basically in coming face to face with him and recognizing Lanyard Gates, it's like she's unlocked all of these repressed memories. So we will now call Maggie Sarah for the rest of the film because she has recognized it. She also does have flashbacks to the night of the performance. Like she was there on stage. She saw things. So it does help to explain, oh my God, how did you basically just adopt or become a different person? How did you not remember that your aunt is not your mom and so on?
Yeah. But again, I appreciate how fast, like we don't waste any time on this. No. It's like, she figures it out. We're caught up. We're good to go.
Yeah, the only problem is that she has run to Toby and confessed all of this, which would obviously be the wrong person to tell.
But again, so this is the hour mark of the movie. We are at the end of Act 2, shifting into Act 3, and bam, our killer is revealed.
Yeah, so he abducts her. It's very similar to the scene where Suzanne got nabbed in the theater lobby. So there's a bunch of people, or seemingly there's a bunch of people who are sort of circling and running around Sarah, and then she just gets got. And then the next time we see her, she's been put into a martyr-style chair.
Oh my God.
Or an It Follows chair, or a Texas Chainsaw chair.
Just,
whichever one you want to pull from.
The horror chair, there you go.
A horror chair, yeah. She is a girl who has been tied to a chair. She's got this thing over her head, and Toby is now going to go through his big villain monologue, which will dominate the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. But Joe, explain what he looks like in this scene.
Okay, so I would say the other thing that makes this queer for me is that By this time, the lights have come back on. Yay. So nobody upstairs is the wiser. We've begun the stench and everything's okay. But it also means that, Sarah can see Toby and what he looks like. So he walks her through his makeup regiment. And I understand men wear makeup. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're queer. But this in particular does seem like there's this interesting performative aspect where it's like, hey, girl, let me show you how I get ready for the world because I am horribly burned. I have these blood red / yellow eyes. So he's like, so every day I have to get up and I put on appliances to give my face shape. So he puts on like a plastic thing to support his jaw. He puts in contacts. And I love the effect of this because clearly it's actually the actor taking
the opposite.
The contacts and it's just his regular eyes. And it's really incredible makeup on this burn. I don't think it looks super lifelike, but it is extremely evocative.
But like he's wearing the Toby mask, but he hasn't completed putting it on. And so basically you have actor Tom Villard's face, but the sides of his face are just flappy. Skin flaps. They're flaps.
Yeah.
And he's moving so... I have to believe that he was instructed to move a lot so that the flaps would flap a lot. But like, I just wrote in my notes, love the face flaps.
Okay, I put the mask flaps are great.
There you go.
It's really effective and it's uncanny, and I truly don't know how they did this because it is very clearly just it's his face and they've added some kind of like masking appliance. It's makeup, it's a makeup job, but it looks like he has put part of a mask on and just left the sides unfinished.
It actually reminded me, speaking of the way it looks, it reminded me of Alicia Vikander's makeup in Ex Machina. I mean, of course, there's like 20, 30 years difference between that, but still, just
and
the
that's
way...
all removed by CGI.
Yeah, well, yes, kind of, but like they still use like a facial thing. I don't know,
That
man.
is true. Yeah. I mean, this is where the limits of our makeup expertise come into effect, but I just honestly found it so impressive. You didn't tell me what the budget of this film was, but I gather it wasn't a ton.
$9 million.
Okay. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. That's actually more expensive than I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, but again, it only made $4.5 million, so it did not make more than that budget.
Right. Yeah. I guess, okay. I wonder then how much money they spent on stuff like this, because the masks are not insignificant in terms of how often they appear, but this kind of makeup, it does feel like someone with a lot of expertise spent a bunch of time crafting it to get the look right.
Like, I want to believe that, like, okay, Jamaica, maybe they got a tax break from Jamaica, and it helps that they're only at one setting and they're filming on location, so it's like you don't have to do a bunch of different sets or anything like that. It's all there for you. So all you're paying for is, I mean, your extras, the costumes, the makeup, all the movie memorabilia props and things like that. But
right, all the racist makeup to turn your
all the mask
into white. And so
exactly.
On. All this to say, this is great. Villard is killing it. He's so big. And I mean, he's yelling because he's super fucking pissed off. He clearly blames Sarah because that's the other big thing. So his explanation is that he and his mom were sitting in the front row at this possessor experience, and she ended up dying in the fire. He was horribly burned because they couldn't escape the theater. And he blames Sarah because
well, okay, this is the whole, he's just insane. Like, because really, I kind of get why he would want to kill Suzanne, because the reason the theater went up in flames is because Suzanne shot lanyard and it caused something to fall over and make a fire, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Why he blames Sarah for anything is very unclear to me.
I think it's just because Sarah escaped from this and she got to live a normal life, and she's, not horribly burned.
Sure. You have the life that I deserved or something.
A little bit of that, but we're not seeing it that explicitly, which maybe we needed that kind of line in there. One
thing he does say that I also adds to the queer reading, I think, is he screams at her, like, really upset, like, nobody is like me.
Yeah. It's definitely a queer as other. Like, I'm a person who is trying to fit in with quote unquote normal people, but look at what I have to do because I am so different.
Yeah.
But then, of course, when you know it's a queer man, and he's out at this time as well. So I do think it adds that extra dimension to the reading.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah. Did I mention that we also have Suzanne? Because we've trotted her out.
Oh, she's like a body cast.
She's in a full body cast, including the arm that contains the gun. It just kind of looks like a giant person dipped her into plaster of Paris and then set her down and wheels her around for a little bit.
I actually think it's a missed opportunity to not have painted the plaster of Paris to make it look like clothes or something. Or put clothes on it. I don't know.
I mean, we kind of do that with Sarah with this metal dress that we're going to lock her into. So maybe it was, oh, well, if I had more time, I would have done arts and crafts with Aunt Suzanne. But, I'm working with what I had. I only had the day.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I love that we didn't kill Dee Wallace, but we just strand her in this full body cast
for the rest of the movie.
Film.
I mean, it must have been good for her. She's like, all right, let me just get in here. I'll just sit here. Someone pump my titty right now. Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, upstairs, Mark is back in the mix. We've got Joy and Bearded Guy confronting him, and this is all going down in the lobby where Cheryl and Joni have been looking after him, and it just breaks out into a low-key fight. It really escalates to an enjoyable level when Cheryl confronts Bearded Guy and she gets him to admit that he would never hit a woman. So she's like, cool, let me just go to town on you.
Yeah, punch. You never hit a girl? All right, that's all I wanted to know. And just punch this guy in the face.
Yep.
Joy calling Sarah a little slut because it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Like, where is this coming from? But I don't know. This is a fun little exchange.
It is, yeah. It's one of those things where Joy clearly didn't care about Mark when she had Bearded Guy, but now she's decided she does want him because, she's that possessive girlfriend. But of course, she still has Bearded Guy acting as her kind of burly backup bodyguard dude. And yeah, it's like, folks, there's actually a girl being held hostage by like a burnt maniac down below, but never mind. No. We basically end up beating the shit out of Bearded Guy. We kick him and Joy out and lock them out of the theater. And that'll become important because at this point, Mark realizes, I think that Maggie /Sarah has gone with Toby, and he assumes that they've gone to Toby's house. I can't remember how he comes to this, but Joni knows exactly where Toby lives. I guess because she's a bit of a stalker because she has a crush on him. But she's like, oh, this is where Toby lives. And Mark leaves the theater to go and pursue Sarah.
Yeah, the only reason this happens is so he can see Toby's murder board of sorts. And figure everything out. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I don't care.
I don't hate this, but it also does feel, I flash back to the Skeleton Key where we said, there's that scene where we have to have Kate Hudson go back into New Orleans so that she can hang out and get the information and then come back. And it kind of feels like that. There is an important plot detail here. Mark has to find out who Toby is, but it also feels a little inelegant. Like we could have handled this or had him discover this somewhere else. But yeah, we do get this just weird scene where he goes to Toby's apartment. The landlord, who is played by Will Knickerbocker, is evicting Toby. So we're just packing up all of his shit. But yeah, basically he has all of the walls. It's all about lanyard gates. It's all about the fire. We've got pictures of Sarah with pins in her eyes, the usual bullshit. And Mark's like, I gotta get back to the theater.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, actually this is when Suzanne gets brought out and I wrote full body plaster regalia. Yeah, we should also note that Toby realizes he's got a little bit of time to kill. So this is where we will dispatch Leon in the bathroom. Again, a little bit gay because we are showing up. I can't even remember who. Oh, he's doing Leon.
Yeah, he's wearing his face already, which I guess would have made sense because we saw them doing face casts like when they were doing the montage of stuff. So it's believable that he may have already had a mask of Leon, but we do a full wolf, well, actually it's pre-wolf, where he pees on his legs.
Yes, and I did quite enjoy this. I mean, you can definitely see two Leons peeing at urinals, and you can tell that they were using a bit of a mirror down the middle. Like you can actually kind of see a sliver of a line.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it because I do think it's fun and unexpected. And yeah, so Doppelganger Leon pees on regular Leon, throws him into a cubicle, and then just throws these gas pellets that explode and kill Leon, presumably.
Yeah, well, he locks him in a stall, to which I'm like, okay, locking a stall from the outside doesn't make any sense.
No.
But also, like, it's not, like, floor to ceiling door, so it's like, can he just crawl out of here or like climb over the door? He doesn't try.
The explosion happens very quickly, so presumably he just didn't have time.
Yeah, but either way, he gets killed with a bomb, which that is kind of a knock against the movie where I'm like, you're not killing someone with a bomb in my slasher movie, but whatever.
But I love that it was odor pellets that turned into a bomb.
Yeah, because don't they mention that? That's a Chekhov's mention earlier, where they're like, oh yeah, so these used to explode with some people, blah, blah, blah. So keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a solid payoff. I don't think it's the most memorable death. I just really like the reveal of, oh, it's not, he's taken Tina's face or he's taken Mr. Davis's face or something. It's like, no, those masks are gone. I'm putting your face next to you.
And it's like he's wearing his complete costume too, so like he looks just like him.
Yeah, it's a fun effect.
Yeah, but then, okay, so he does this, and then he goes after Joni.
Yes, yeah. So he's sneaking up on her, presumably to just dispatch her. Like, we're getting rid of everybody at this point.
Yeah.
But she mistakenly thinks that he is Leon. I mean, he's wearing the Leon costume, so it makes sense. But she talks about how she's so obsessed with Toby, how she's in love with him. And because this is obviously actually Toby, he hears and just ends up rushing out because he doesn't want to kill her anymore.
Well, but this makes him so angry because he gets like really angry. He's just like throwing shit around, being like, "You love me!" Yeah,
because clearly, if we rationalize that the reason he doesn't like Sarah is because she had the life he could have had, he clearly thought that he could never have something like love. And
yeah,
it's kind of interesting, right? It's this little wrinkle of humanity where all of a sudden in another version of the film, maybe Toby realizes, I don't need to go through with this plan anymore because I could actually just have Joni, except for the fact that the minute she, Phantom of the Opera's my face, she's going to freak out.
Yeah.
But also we're already in a theater, so hit that organ and make it happen, boy. Anyway, we should also note that Mark has slowly been making his way back into the theater. I mean, he's not deliberately moving slowly, but it does take him for fucking ever to find a window that he can climb up and get through. All this to say that by this point, Toby has actually positioned Sarah onto the stage. We're playing Possessor. We're reenacting the scenes. It's very much a Shadowcast production. And of course, the crowd, they get really angry when the stench gets turned off mid-film, but then when Toby is there, and I love that he's just wearing his regular face because he can get away with it, right?
Yeah.
It's like a costume, and these people don't suspect anything. But yeah, so he's going to kill Sarah at the stroke of midnight, which is in 30 seconds, and he asks the audience to count down with him.
I wrote in my notes, we're actually going to do the 30-second countdown. I'm sorry, wait, I don't think we mentioned this, but I did love the moment shortly before this, whenever Toby is dancing with Suzanne in the body cast, and he's wheeling her around on the stage.
Yeah. I mean, we love a theatrical queen, right?
It's very Beauty and the Beast.
It's very Beauty and the Beast. Or Drop Dead Gorgeous with Jesus on the crucifix.
Yes, it is. Oh my God.
Terrible. Send me to hell for that one. Okay, so yes, we're all counting down. It looks like Sarah's about to get it. Of course, she's pleading with the audience. He is going to kill me, and they think it's part of the production. So Mark has one chance. He's got to zip line down the mosquito line onto the stage, which he does, but it doesn't actually do anything. He just crashes into the background. Oh, wait, never mind. He has loosened the giant mosquito, which was hanging up in the rafters. It falls down, and we get our second impalement of the film. And Trace, I think my favorite piece of direction in this film is where we put the camera onto Toby's body as he is swinging on this like pincer thing. It's just really fun.
Yeah, because truthfully, part of me was kind of like, this is kind of a cheat. We're doing another mosquito death, but this one goes on.
I like it. I like that it comes back.
No, it comes back, and it also goes on for a long time. Like we have him flailing while he's impaled on this thing. And again, the audience is eating this up because the audience thinks this is all fake.
Yes. Yeah. Because of course.
Kevin Williamson had to have seen this.
He had to have seen this. That's what we're saying. Somebody just get confirmation for us. But yeah, okay. So eventually, presumably, they figure out, no, this is not part of the show. We just averted a murder, but killed this other dude. So we have paramedics, we have police outside. The crowd has dispersed. And I I kind of love this moment where Sarah just kind of says, okay, Aunt Suzanne, it's been swell. I'll see you later back at the house.
She just leaves.
Just fucking leaves. Like, never mind about giving a police statement or getting checked out at the hospital or anything. No, you're good to go. And here's the other interesting thing. I don't think that Mark and Sarah have great chemistry. Like, I'm not going to lie. I spent the first act being like, is Mark the gay actor?
They're more friendly. They give off friendly vibes, right?
They give off friendly vibes. Even the joke that she made about, fucking him early in the film, it felt more like the kind of comment you would give to your friend when they're saying, well, maybe we should both lose our virginity by prom night or something. Yeah, so it's just the two of them, and they talk about how it feels like their lives were horror movies, and maybe next time they should try to angle for a comedy instead. And then we don't get a kiss. We get a hug as we go into credits and more reggae music.
Scary, scary movie on the silver screen. And that's popcorn.
That's popcorn. It's not a whimper of an ending, but I did think it was funny that we're not even going to try to pretend like these people are super romantically inclined, but like, hey, we both went through something, so I guess you can be my person for the night.
But I do appreciate that on some level, right?
Me too. Yeah, let's not force it. We don't have to.
So I guess, I take back what I said about like wanting this movie to be smarter. I guess I should, because I do think this movie is smart in parts. I wanted it to engage with the material it was being metatextual about.
Yeah. Now, here's the question, though. Is it just because it's set in a movie theater and these people talk about movies? Like, we jumped over the part where they talk about Ingmar Bergman and so on.
But... Oh, yeah. Oh, because the Police Academy movies have more art in them than any Ingmar Bergman film.
I did laugh at that. Okay, bud.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, are we trying to force meta commentary or metatextuality into this film just because it's movie people and it's set in a movie theater? Because I feel like we give movies like Demons a pass.
Right. Well, but see, though, I say Demons is very metatextual, though, because the movie they're all there to watch is mirroring what's happening in the theater for them.
But are they really commenting on it? Like, are they engaging with it in that way? I guess I would argue Demons is a bit closer to this, in which things that are happening on screen seem to be mirroring real life, but it's not as if the characters are actively talking about that.
Right. Because I guess, I'm sorry, how does Webster's Dictionary define metatextual, Joe? It's a text making critical commentary on itself. I guess you're right then. Like, I guess I'm thinking meta is just, we're just talking about movies in a movie. So, like,
right.
Which I guess is a very low level of metatextuality, but
I'm just saying, we let Elvira, Mistress of the Dark off easier than this.
Yeah, that is true, actually. So, yeah, I guess that's the thing. I wish this movie were more metatextual.
Right, yeah. And I wonder if maybe it would have been if it had have come out in and around the Scream era, right? Like, I do think we would have seen characters being more savvy and commenting on the fact that it feels like they're in a horror film. Maybe it is this last line, because that feels out of place with a lot of the character interactions we've seen throughout the rest of the film, where they're not actively talking about movies.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, here's the thing, though, because I think that Popcorn is ripe for a remake, because it's a really fun movie. There's a great concept here, but it's not, like, perfect. And I would love to actually see what this would look like in today's landscape, what they would do for their movie marathon, because we're not going to do the gimmicks anymore.
Right.
The other movie that I think is similar to Popcorn, albeit I think it's less successful, but it kind of saw a resurgence in popularity during the pandemic, is Fade to Black.
Oh, I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to.
So I liked it. I think I was expecting something better based on what everyone was talking about it. But it was one of those things where I think it hit Shudder during the pandemic. And so then everyone was like, oh my God, this like unseen horror film.
It was really inaccessible for a long time until Shudder picked it up. And then all of a sudden, I think it also got a boutique release. But again, for a lot of folks, physical media is the goal, but it's not always financially sustainable. So if something is streaming, that's just, for the masses, everybody can get access to it.
Well, and so like the plot of that movie is, this lonely cinephile embarks on a killing spree against his oppressors while impersonating classic film characters. And they are actual classic film characters like Dracula, The Mummy, The Phantom of the Opera, things like that.
Right. Okay. The other title that I'm sure people have been screaming at us because we have actually covered this movie is Peaches Christ's movie.
Oh, All About Evil.
Evil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, very much so. Oh, good movie marathon for all of this right here.
There we go. Okay, so what you do is you do a legacy sequel where you've got Sarah and Mark have settled down platonically. They own their own movie theater. Their Aunt Suzanne swings by for their horror movie weekend where they're showing original popcorn, All About Evil, Fade to Black.
Well, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And also, if you remake this movie, you know the cold open's going to be like the night of the Possessor fire. And what you can do is you can have Dee Wallace play the mother that gets killed in that opening scene.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay.
Or actually just give her a big part in the movie. That's fine,
There
too.
we go.
But yeah, I quite like Popcorn. I'm glad you finally got to watch it.
Yeah, this was fun. It's not like this was super, super high on my list of, I need to watch this immediately because people constantly tell me that I would enjoy it. Like, I've heard plenty of people say this is a movie that's really enjoyable. People will get a kick out of it. And I'm happy to report that those people are right. This is just a really, really good time. I don't think that this movie is revolutionary, but I am very happy to have watched it, and I can imagine watching this again in the future.
Oh, yeah. I bet it'll play well in a theater. Actually, I'll be playing it in a theater soon, I think.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay.
But, okay, everyone. Well, before we announce what we're covering next week, some quick housekeeping. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us on Blue Sky and Instagram at HorrorQueers. Shoot us an email at horrorqueers@gmail.com. Find us on Letterboxd to keep track of all the films we've covered. If you want to chat with other listeners, please join our Horror Queers Discord. If you have a moment, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you want more content, please support the show by becoming a patron at patreon.com/horrorqueers. If you subscribe today, you'll get 451 hours of Patreon content, including this month's new episodes on Return to Silent Hill, The Creep Tape Season 2, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, Primate, and to coincide with that Johannes Roberts Killer Chip movie, we've got a brand new audio commentary on the 1995 adaptation of Michael Crichton's Congo.
Oh my God. So dumb, but so fun.
And agreed. But Joe, speaking of Michael Crichton, what are we covering next week to kick off February?
Oh my God. Yeah. How could we not, right? I think we were just in that wavelength where we thought, okay, so we're going to do Congo because it makes sense with Primate. There's absolutely no reason to watch this Michael Crichton adaptation, but I think you and I have both been wanting to revisit it for quite some time. And it does have a soft queer component, although, girl, come out of the closet already. Folks, we're going to be going underwater to check out Sphere.
Sharon Stone, baby.
Oh, I was talking about Queen Latifah, but yeah, go off.
I'm also Queen Latifah, who is barely in it because she gets attacked by jellyfish and just is out of the movie.
But such a good death, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't because it's been like 30 fucking years.
It's been a while. I mean, I remember thinking it was scary as a kid, but I also know that it did not get good reviews when it came out. So,
no.
Yeah.
And it's a long motherfucker, too.
Oh my God, it's like 2 hours and 15. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's unforgivable. But anyway, until next week, we can cross out popcorn.
Indeed. And cross out horror queers.
Return to Silent Hill is in theaters now. Based on the iconic Silent Hill 2, step into the fog and experience the nightmare.
You did it, didn't you, Jimmy? You woke him up.
Face your fears as you return to Silent Hill. In theaters nationwide. Find theaters and showtimes at tickets.returntosilenthill.com.